is that the person you saw going out of the theater to get and come back, whoever came back in, the one who went out had a goatee.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
That's correct.
Keep me around.
But even through this awful experience, their faith and friendship survived.
I keep it pretty simple. I get out of bed every day and I thank him for another day, and I just let him lead the way, and he's led me so far.
Say to Holmes, I want John to know that I forgive him, but more than anything, I pray that he can find some regret and that he can find that place in his heart where it's time for him to regret and to ask for forgiveness from the victims of all this terrible tragedy.
That sense of forgiveness is an inspirational act of grace for us all.
So Bonnie Kate's injury is really, really rough and hard. It's going to be a long road of recovery, and even when the media dies down, it's going to be very real for Bonnie Kate and for all of us, really. Physical therapy is going to be really rough for her, and it just all adds up, and it's going to be a long and expensive road.
God just was holding us in his hands, and I wasn't afraid. I knew that whatever he had for us, was in his, and we were in his hands, and it was all part of his plan. He was sovereign and in control of even this craziness.
Took his phone call towards the emergency exit, not the lobby, and had his foot propped open by the door. It seemed like he was making gestures, trying to find somebody or trying to have somebody come to his location to where he currently was.
20 minutes into the film, the back emergency door swung right open. I walked into the theater, probably 5'8", 5'9".
One of the victims comes from Mequon near Milwaukee. 27-year-old Carrie Rotman was shot in the leg. The 2008 Winona State University grad and former football player in Colorado working for a distribution company was at the movie with friends. Rotman's parents at a Denver hospital where Rotman had surgery and recovering now on the bullet lodged in his thigh, saying their son called around 2 this morning with the news, while his former teammates are now expressing their support.
Another flagged down a cop who pulled Rotman into the car and fled to the hospital.
He's got his hands kind of in front of me, and I just kind of turn and grab his forearms, and I'm just squeezing, you know, just because of the pain, pretty much. I mean, it just hurt.
During our visit, Governor Hickenlooper stopped in, Rotman expressing his gratitude towards the 4 strangers who saved him.
And you guys helped me stay calm. You guys helped a total stranger in complete and utter, you know, desperation and need. And, you know, can't thank you enough.
Another flagged down a cop who pulled Rotman into the car and fled to the hospital.
16 Adam, I need a marked car behind the theater, Sable side. Got a suspect in a gas mask.
I saw people going over hills trying to get out.
Fans, now direct your attention to the mound for tonight's first pitch ceremony. Throwing out the first pitch on behalf of Miller Coors is Carrie Rotman. Carrie, a Coors Distributing Company employee, was shot and wounded in the Aurora theater shooting. He is on the road to recovery and will be back to work soon, and is thrilled to be with his friends and family tonight. Thank you, Carrie. The Rockies and Miller Coors are glad to have you at Coors Field tonight as we remember all the victims of this terrible tragedy.
All of a sudden, I get hit in my right leg, and so that's what I say, you know, Pierce, I'm hit, I'm hit, I'm hit. And that's when I didn't really hear a response from him.
In survival mode, shot in the leg, the 27-year-old ran outside and collapsed. Soon 4 strangers grab him and pull him to safety.
She took her belt off, she wrapped it around my leg, tied it as tight as she could, put her hands over my wound.
Stephanie Rodriguez, she showed our Jim O'Ray how she saved one shooting victim with a tourniquet to stop the bleeding.
Put the belt around his leg and tied it just like this, as tight as I could.
Over top of that device and begin to twist that device to tighten up the bandage and form the tourniquet.
Special ceremonial first pitch just moments ago. Rotman recently threw out the first pitch at a Rockies-Brewers game. He's originally from Wisconsin, so he was able to cheer on not just the Rockies, but the Milwaukee Brewers, too. Rotman was shot in the leg and is still limping and wearing a brace. His wife, Jessica, also attended the game. The couple just wed in June, and the video was from Fox Sports Wisconsin.
And around 10, between 10 and 10:30, four white males who were dressed darkly, dressed in all black clothing, came in and opened fire on our congregation.
Rotman grew up in Mequon, but moved out to Colorado with his wife of just 3 weeks. Rotman grew up in Mequon, but moved out to Colorado with his wife of just 3 weeks.
Someone who was nice, and he thinks that James Holmes was set up.
I'm pissed. That's it. I'm at. I don't feel like he did it. I felt like it was a scam or something, but it's just overwhelming.
Anthony Mai also tells me he has a hunch the suspect, James Holmes, was bullied.
I felt like, this is just a feeling in my guts, but I felt like he had something, like he was being picked on or something.